I'd like to take a moment to thank my channel members for your continued support. Thank you, and consider joining today for added perks and exclusive content.
Autobots, roll out!
Hello and welcome to That's Just Prime, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Perfect Effect PE DX10 JETFORCE Revive Commander, and I love this toy. Now, before we do anything else, I want to give a huge thank you and shout out to fellow Conbro, Engineer Hoist. I'm going to put a link to him right here. Go check out Engineer Hoist's channel. He was at TFCon with me. He's one of my buddies, one of my YouTube buddies, along with everybody else, and we've been hanging out together at conventions and online and all of that. I want to give a huge thank you to Engineer Hoist for lending me this figure. This is his figure. He sent it to me in the mail so that I could do a review of it and compare it to the previously reviewed PEDX10G GODFORCE Warrior. So it's been really cool having both of these figures together, and man, I gotta say, he's done made me spend another $150 because I'm gonna be buying this figure now as well. So thanks for that, Engineer Hoist. But anyway, yeah, link right there. Go check him out. So here we have, again, as mentioned, it's a retool of the previously reviewed the PEDX10G GODFORCE Warrior. In fact, the GODFORCE Warrior is a retool of this guy. I believe this guy came out first. And what this is the cab itself, the Warrior part of the cab, is a heavy retool of their PE16 Ginrai figure. This one's been made to look more like the Prime that we saw in the live action movies, but of course he comes with the trailer, and what I absolutely love about this is that you get a very G2 vibe here with the truck and trailer. You got the flat nose cab in the red and the blues with the stripes, but then you've got that black trailer right there, so you got a very cool G2 vibe with this guy. But then of course, when he does his transformation and when he does his combination, we're gonna end up with a very movie style JETFORCE Optimus Prime, which is, you know, the movie Optimus Prime with the Jetfire armor on him, and he looks absolutely amazing. So here in truck mode, the Commander is approximately 5.5 inches long, about 2.25, 2.5 inches tall at the top of the cab right here, 3 if you want to go to the top of the smokestacks. The trailer is approximately 4 inches tall, and we've got a combined length right here of about 12 inches. So yeah, looking very cool. He rolls really nicely, and just kind of I absolutely love the more almost kind of muted, I want to say, red on this guy versus the more vibrant. I don't prefer one or the other. I love the vibrant on the GODFORCE Warrior. I do like the muted color on this one just because it's the live action kind of style. So I think it fits him better to have this muted color right here. And again, same, you know, the trucks themselves look almost identical. You got the this time around we got silver stripes instead of white. You got all the silver details on the front right there with the grill and the lights and the bumper, silver wheels, silver tanks, silver smokestacks with that blue in the back. Also, this one is actually a little more vibrant of a blue than the one we got with the GODFORCE Warrior. And then of course the trailer externally from the outside, this trailer looks identical to the one that we had with GODFORCE Warrior, except that it's done in black, and you got the really cool, let's call it Air Force-ish style logo right there. Of course, not being my toy, I haven't put any logos on this. Now, if I could change anything about this, if I had my way, I would actually remove that logo from there. I wouldn't have that on there because this doesn't show in the super mode. So I would prefer for this to just be completely just straight black with the gold striping, and then I just put my Autobot logo on there. That would be my preference. And I'll see what I do about it once I get this figure for myself. But yeah, there you go. Again, the actual exterior of the trailer looks identical to the one we saw before. What's going to change with this one is the internal parts that are going to be a little more Jetfire inspired than the one we had last week with the GODFORCE Warrior. Speaking of GODFORCE Warrior, for comparison, one more time, here he is next to GODFORCE Warrior, and you can see again the truck cabs themselves look identical except for the paint. It's when we get them in the robot mode that they're actually going to look different from each other, which I absolutely adore. Same thing with the trailers. The trailers right now look identical. When we take them apart and we convert them into their armor pieces, that's when they're going to look very different from each other. Absolutely love that about these two figures. Transformation for Revived Commander is going to be pretty much exactly what we saw with GODFORCE Warrior. So we're going to start by removing the trailer. We're going to go underneath. This one also has storage underneath. No hand cannon with this. Well, he does have some cannons, hand cannons. We'll get into those later. But right now we've got the axe right here. So this one is just tabbed in right here. Got a little tab right there on the side, and that's tabbed into that slot right there. So we can go ahead and take that, set it aside, and we'll go ahead and set the trailer aside. For now, we'll concentrate on Prime himself or Commander or whatever we want to call him. And again, same transformation as we had with the previous figure. So I'm just going to kind of go through it real quick on this one. Same thing, super tight tabs. These guys have super tight tabs, which I guess is a good thing. But yeah, very, very tight. So tab that in there, open that up, bring up the foot, and one leg done. Super easy. There's something about the transformation on this model. You know, it's like the same figure, but it's not, because they look so different once you get them transformed. But still, it's just, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. The transformation on these guys is fun. I just find it so ingenious and such a different and original take on the transformation for Optimus Prime, and it's so effective. It's so intuitive and fun. It's just fun. You know, it's complex so that it's interesting, but it's also fun. We'll move the camera up a bit, bring these guys down. And if you saw my review on GODFORCE Warrior, this is the exact same transformation. If you have not seen my review on GODFORCE Warrior, then I apologize, because I know you're probably going to leave a comment about how I'm not going through the transformation step by step. Please go check out my review of GODFORCE Warrior, and you'll see I go through the transformation there step by step. These videos tend to get very long-winded. I can just go on and on and on and talk about Optimus Prime figures all day, and I'm really trying to just kind of cut down the time of these videos, because sometimes they just get long. So I'm trying to just kind of tighten things up a bit. But anyway, that one got stuck. There you go. That smokestack piece, that joint did not want to turn. That's weird. Okay, and there we go. There is our JETFORCE Revive Commander, or Optimus Prime, in his regular robot mode. And here in robot mode, he measures approximately 7 inches tall. So, you know, once again, he is approximately just a little shorter than Voyager. Real quick for comparison, here he is with GODFORCE Warrior. So again, and you can see here, I again, like I was saying, in truck mode, these guys look almost identical, but then when you get them transformed, you can see how many differences they've done. And I still wish I had that, the original, the PE16 Ginrai, because that one really looks very different from these guys right here. But all of the little details that they did to kind of just give differences to these two guys, the heads are different, but everywhere else is pretty much, let's see, I think the forearms are different. And then I think the legs might all be the same, but the paint apps make all the difference here. And it makes these guys just look so different from each other. So there's the two of these guys together. And then for something a little more current, here he is with the Kingdom Optimus Prime, which I've said this before. Yes, he is a leader. He's sold at a leader price point. Size-wise, this is a Voyager figure that came with a trailer. So this is what a Voyager size currently is. And you can see that this guy's just a little shorter than that. Now, taking a look at our... Well, actually, let's come in close. Let's take a look at the head. Really want to show you that. Absolutely love the details on this guy's head. Looks very, very cool. And just kind of going all the way around. Let me just kind of get him into a cool pose here. And just kind of going all the way around so you can see. And again, it is going to be Ginrai inspired. So you are going to have the backpack there that looks like a little bit like the front of the truck. I think they really did a good job of hiding the grill and just kind of camouflaging it a bit. Yeah, it's still the front of a truck, but it's not as obvious as it would be on Ginrai. But there you go. Just going all the way around. Very clean looking robot all the way around, if you ask me. Again, we've got the issue with the lack of heels, so he can be a little back heavy, easy to tip over. So you see I kind of got to lean forward a little bit. That's just the kind of, you're going to want to lean him forward some and just kind of work with balancing on him. Articulation-wise, the head is on a ball joint. He can look all the way up for those flying poses that we're going to be getting into later. You can do inquisitive tilting and, of course, side to side on that ball joint. Arms can go forward and backwards all the way around. They can go in and out on that super tight hinge. Elbows can bend that far. And then, of course, they can also rotate. The hands can do that because of transformation. They can also rotate because they're on a peg, and the fingers can open and close, although they do tend to be tight. Let's try and close that back up again. All right, so we got ab crunches, right? So we got, for the small robot, this is the ab crunch for the small robot. And then we also have this forward, I don't want to call it an ab crunch, but I guess it's kind of like a forward or a backwards bend, a limbo bend, which is going to be the ab crunch in the super mode, but you can use this for posing, that kind of stuff. So completely up to you. Close those back up. We have waist rotation. The legs can go forward that far, back that far, in and out, rotation at the thigh. Very nice bend at the knee. Actually, in fact, that's a double joint at the knee. The toes can go up and down a bit, and they also, and you got the ankle tilt as well for those wide stances. Now, we can get into the weapons that are inside of the trailer, and we'll get into those once we start breaking the trailer open. But for now, what we have is his axe that was stored right under the trailer. So this can just peg in right there in the hand, just like so. It's got the little cover right there. So, the whole idea here is to kind of make it look somewhat like it's coming out of, again, it's movie inspired, right? So we want it to kind of look like it's coming out of his arm rather than something he's holding. And I really want to try and get him to hold this pose, because I think that would be super, super cool. If he did, I don't think he's oh, look at that. He actually did it. So there you go. Very cool looking robot. Getting into Jet Force Revive Commander's Jet Sled and Super Mode. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to take Prime, set him off to the side, and we're going to concentrate on the trailer, start taking the whole trailer apart. So again, we're going to have a lot of tabs. So we're just going to untab the front here and here on the bottom, there and there. So we can move that up. That piece was tabbed in right there. It just fell out. So this is going to be the waist piece for the Super Mode, or the Jet Force mode, so we'll just set that off to the side. And then we're going to come down, let's see, down here on the bottom of this panel, it's tabbed in there. No, we don't want to mess with that yet. We're going to come down here to the back of these rails and just untab these from the bottom of the trailer, there and there. And we should be able to wiggle the whole bottom piece out just like that. There. All right, so we're going to take these, now we're going to take these tabs, unpeg them from here, there, and there. We're going to take these panels and just kind of get them out of the way for now. See where we can go. Yeah, let's just move them up here for now. Get them out of the way. So these pieces are going to collapse into themselves, right? So we're going to take the railing and flip it all the way over like this and like this. Now we can move these kind of out of the way here. And then we're going to rotate these up on these hinges and meet them together right up here in the center and tab all of this together. We're going to take this panel, let's see, yep, flip this over, and then we're going to use this double hinge, come on up. There's a tab there and a slot there. So tab that in there, and tab that in there. We want to take this longer handle here and get this out, and take the shorter handle and put it away. This will be the gun for the Super Robot mode. We can set this aside for now. Let's work on this guy, and we're going to take the top and the front of this and this middle piece off. We're going to leave the back of the trailer alone for now. So we're just going to come up here. We got tabs there, there, and there on each side. So we're just going to start undoing all of these. And all of these. That's going to separate all of that. This whole back end of the trailer can go off to the side for now. Let's work on this guy here. So this panel right here is just going to flip on over. Take the, let's see, take this and flip it over. And then this whole thing's going to flip in half. And these tabs are all going to tab in together. And that's gonna make that one piece there. Move this chest piece up and out of the way. That is a soft joint. I kind of wish these had pins and be a little more secure. They do have a tendency to just pop off, but they just clip right in. Let's move that out of the way. We're going to reach in here. We're going to get these guns out. These are the guns I told you about that were stored in the trailer mode. And you don't have to store, I mean, that's where they're kind of meant to be, but you can leave them out if you wish and kind of plug them into the outside of the trailer if you want a more G2 look. And then, of course, you can use these as handguns for Prime. And I'll show you those here in just a moment. We can go ahead and flip this back down again and then flip it all the way in, take these panels, rotate them out. And then we're going to take these engine pieces. These are pegged or tabbed into the that panel right there, that top panel. So we're just going to unpeg those, rotate these out, and then rotate them on this hinge back here, like that, so that we can bring them out the rest of the way. And just like with GODFORCE Warrior, you can actually play with the angles here. Show you in just a moment. These can come in, like this if you wish. We're going to take these pieces here and just kind of bring these out. And again, you can have them back here, you can have them forward, whatever you'd like. So bring these out, there and there. And yeah, again, just like with GODFORCE Warrior, if you want them to be like angled up a little bit like that, you can. If you want to angle them down like that, you can. You know, you can do whatever you want with these guys. So, but for now, for the purpose of this review, I'm going to have them as straight as I can get them. And that's not very straight at all. There we go. Okay, that looks good. And then again, we're going to bring in this front gun piece, and we're going to tab it in together there and there, right there in the front. You know, it actually helps if you get these panels out of the way for whatever reason. It just is. That should let us plug that in there a little easier. There we go. And then you can just bring these back down again. Well, that didn't quite work out the way I hoped, did it? There we go. Let's do it like that. That will now let me tab those in together, and now I can bring these back up again and tab them there. Okay, all set. Now, that is, for the most part, that's his jet mode. Let's bring this up again so we can have him ride it. Now, real quick, here's his double guns. Real quick for just, I guess we'll leave that one on. But just for demonstration purposes, these can be held like handguns, just like any other handgun. So you can choose to use these with Prime. You can use one or both, or, you know, whatever you want. Again, you have lots of options with this guy. So we'll set him over here for now. And then again, we can take these and we're just going to peg them in right here to the top of these engine pieces. Actually, I think I want them this way. There and there. And there we go. Now we've got his, again, this can be a jet drone. This can be a jet sled, a big giant gun with wings. This can be whatever you want it to be. So one more time, let's work on getting really cool pose here for Prime. Something like that. And again, we're going to work that peg into his foot. And then we'll bring it in like that. And yeah, there you go. Check that out. How cool is that? Right? So yeah, very, very cool. Just a cool play feature that you've got right here. It's not, I'm not quite getting as dynamic as a pose as I had hoped to get, but you get the idea, right? So there you go. There's Prime flying or, you know, surfing his sky sled right there, which is, again, it's a very, very cool play feature. All right, so we'll go ahead and remove Prime. We'll take his axe out for a moment, set that off to the side, and we'll get ready for the combination. So to get him ready for combination, again, we're going to straighten him out. And just like we did with GODFORCE Warrior, we're just going to turn him around at the waist and then turn him back around at the thighs. We're going to bring in the waist piece. And again, you got the same 3 ports and the same 3 pegs. And that's going to just peg in right there. That's going to be pretty much it for now. We can set him off to the side. we'll work on this. Separate the front gun, and the front gun stays just as is, so we can set that off to the side. Take these guns, set these off to the side, and then we're going to take this piece right here, open this up, open that up. This is ready for combination. We'll bring in the rear half of the trailer, separate this, take the shoulder pieces out, take the forearm pieces out, set those off to the side, open the door, rotate it, close it back up again. Don't quite snap it in yet. Take the wheels, bring those in, fold this in, fold this in, and then that tabs or that peg is going to go into that port right there. That's one leg ready. Do it again over here. Take off the shoulder piece, take off the forearm piece, pop back in the shin guard because it keeps falling out. Open the door, rotate and close it. Fold this panel. And see what I mean about the little logo here? This doesn't show in the super robot mode, so I kind of find it kind of pointless to have that logo there because you don't see it in the robot mode or in the jet mode or anything like that. I mean, you can see it on the wings here, you know, so there, it's there. I don't really see much of a point of having it there. I wish it wasn't, but anyway. Close that and then tab this together. Bring the wheels in. Ready to start combining. So we'll point out his toes just a little bit. We'll get this piece right here lined up just like that. And then we'll bring this down and get that peg right into his foot. Just like so. And then we'll go ahead and tab that in and that leg is ready. We'll do it again over here. So snap all of that together. Bring that down so that the peg goes into the foot. Once he's all the way in, snap that shut. And there is his bottom half. Pretty much all done. Take off his fists. All right. Now, let's bring in the forearm pieces here. We're going to peg in the fist to the forearm piece. And this time, we're going to bring in these gun pieces. I want the other gun piece. And there is a tab on the outside of the forearm and a slot right there on this little gun piece. So that's going to slot in right there. So that one's ready. We'll do the same to the other one. We'll give him his fist. We'll give him the gun. And then these guys are going to use that tab or that peg right there and peg right into the same hole where the fist was pegged in just moments ago. So push that in place. We'll do that again over here. Push that one in place. And somehow I've dropped his leg. What happened? That is a first. That's one I have not done before. That the leg piece has not come off on me before. That's interesting. Of course, because I'm on camera and that's when things are going to go wrong. There we go. All right, so that's back on. Okay, so there's that. The legs are done. The waist is done. The forearms are done. We're going to bring these and fold them. We're going to find that tab, and we want that tab pointing to the back of the shoulder because we want to go into that slot right there. So we'll bring these down over the smokestack. There we go. And close that up. Same thing on this one. Bring it down. That's going to tab into the top of the arm. Like that. Alrighty. Almost there. Why isn't that? That's weird. It felt like I wasn't getting it quite securely tabbed in place there. All right. So again, we've got what was the side view mirrors on the truck there. So we want to get these clips right on those side view mirror pieces. So we're just going to bring this around. And I'm just trying to find a way that I can see it from behind the camera there and there. And then as we bring the chest down, the chest has tabs there. That are going to tab into these slots right here on this chest. So we can bring this down. And boy, this chest piece just does not want to stay in place today. For those of you that think that shooting these reviews is easy. There we go. Snap that in place. Snap that in place. Let's get them all nice and straightened out. And there is JetForce Revive Commander in his super robot mode, or in his JetForce mode, or Jetfire mode, combined mode, whatever you want to call it. And this looks absolutely awesome, and I just don't have enough room here to show the whole thing off. Adjust the camera there a little bit. Check this guy out. This is absolutely just beautiful, stunning. Here in the, let's call it the super robot mode, he's approximately 8 inches tall at the top of the head. And he's got a wingspan about 9 if you want to go up here to the top of these, and he's got a wingspan of about 9 inches. But again, you can take the wings here, you can position them any way you want. You can bring them down, you can bring them up, you can rotate them out like that, or bring them in, whatever you want to do with these guys. Absolutely awesome. Going all the way around, so you can see, again, not a lot of people, pretty clean looking truck mode. I love the detail that they worked into the all of this armor stuff back here. They added in that fifth wheel right there. That is such a cool detail that they put that in there. But again, not a whole lot of hollow parts. Relatively clean looking robot, in my opinion. I really like the way this looks. Articulation for this guy pretty much carries over from the small robot mode. The head has got all of the same articulation, so now we can use that bend of the neck all the way up for those flight modes, those flight poses, which is really cool. The shoulders can still go forward and backwards. Backwards as far as the wings are going to let you. You can still go in and out. All the same rotation at the elbow, and bend and rotation at the elbow, and the fists. I guess the fists can't do the little curl thing anymore, but they can still rotate, and the fingers can still open and close. You still have rotation at the waist. You still have an ab crunch right there, and you can also move it back for those flight poses again. Legs can go forward that far, back that far, in and out. Rotate at the thigh. Same bend at the knee. And these are new ankles, but the ankles can still go up and down, and they can also tilt, so you can still do some wide stances with them, which is really cool. Again, lots of play options here. So the cannons here that are mounted to the side of his arms, you can take those off. You can put them in his fist. You can hold them like that if you'd like, or you can give him the super cannon here. And a really cool detail that I like about this. All right, so we're going to go underslung. He's going to hold it like this. But if you look, there are tabs here and here. So you can do this on either arm. And if you look on the bottom of the forearm piece, there's slots right here. Okay, so when you put this cannon in place, not only is he going to hold it with his fist, but he can also tab the cannon into the arm piece, which is really going to help secure it and hold it in place. So he's not just going to drop it. You don't have to worry about that joint. Even though the joint on the fingers is really super tight, you don't have to worry about that joint getting loose over time and the cannon just dropping off. I just realized these legs don't look right, do they? Something doesn't look straight here. What's going on here? I've done something wrong. What have I done wrong here? There we go. Yeah, that just didn't look straight there for a second, did it? Okay, so there's that. Some of you probably noticed that earlier, and it was driving you crazy. So there's all that. And then again, of course, we can bring in that axe. We can give him that. And there you go. There is Revive Commander, all armed up, ready for battle, and looking absolutely awesome, stunning, amazing. What a beautiful figure. Let's bring this up just a little bit. We'll do a couple of comparisons. Of course, here he is next to the GODFORCE Commander, his mold mate, his mold brother. And again, I've said this before. I'll say it again. They're retools of each other, and I love the way that they look so similar in truck mode. They look almost identical, with the exception of colors. They look nearly identical in truck mode, but then you do this, and it's like you got yourself two completely different figures, and that absolutely sold me on this guy. I absolutely gonna have to get my own copy of this now because of that right there. I love the way these guys look like together. Just so that we can see how much he's grown, here he is one more time next to the current Earthrise Optimus Prime. And if you remember, in the regular robot mode, he was just a tad shorter, and now he's grown quite a bit. So, yeah, big boy right there. And then finally, Just for the heck of it, here he is next to the Studio Series Jetfire or JetForce Optimus Prime. So you can see how these guys stack up, looking next to each other, and of course, quite a size difference, still looking quite bigger. So he's gone pretty much a leader size at this point, which is very, very cool. Absolutely adore this figure. Again, big shout out and big thank you to my con brother, Engineer Hoist. Go check out his channel, check out all his videos. He does a lot of cool stuff. Big thanks to him for sending me this figure, letting me borrow this figure, trusting me with this nice figure for reviews. I am going to very sadly part with it here shortly, send it back to him, but I will be purchasing my own copy because this is an absolute beautiful, stunning, fun figure and an excellent addition to any Optimus Prime collection. And I think that about does it for the Perfect Effect PE DX10 JetForce Revive Commander. That was a long video, but what did you think of this figure? Let me know down in the comments. Give me some thumbs up. Subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified when I upload a new video. I've got a donate button up there if you want to hit on that. I certainly would appreciate it. Please share with your friends if you like what you see, and I'll talk to you next time on That's Just Prime.